every once in a while, hell, I would say maybe once a year, the topic comes up: what happened to Dunkin' Donuts? And always reflect on why I stopped going to Dunkin'. And then you see that you have like Tim Hortons popping up everywhere, and I've become a pretty big fan of Tim Hortons. But yeah, I was looking up Dunkin', and there was one of those like Google recommended searches, and it said what's happening at Dunkin' Donuts, and then I saw a thing about they were closing up to 450 stores in 2020, which I mean 2020 was a rough year. But I go back to, and this is just Michigan. I don't know, let me know what your experience is like everywhere else. I got a buddy up on the East Coast, loves Dunkin' Donuts, has no complaints. In Michigan, my big issue with Dunkin' was every time anything you bought from a Dunkin' Donuts here, it always short. Your coffee would be like 80% full. The the donuts would always have, half the amount of like frosting or glaze on them that they should have. Everything that you bought was just a little bit light. And I felt like it was so consistent, I didn't think it was like a mistake anymore. And it's like I kept feeling like I'm getting ripped off. Like I paid for 100% of this coffee, but you keep filling it 75 or 80% full. And you realize if they do that 5 times, then they basically save a whole cup of coffee. I don't like that, and I don't think most consumers like that. So I don't know if Dunkin' was just struggling, so they were trying to, cut every corner they could, or did one person own all the Dunkins in Michigan, and that's just how they did business? I don't have an answer to that. All I know is every time I went there, it seemed like everything you bought was always coming up a little bit short. And if they short you, 10%, then that it just goes back in their pockets, right? So I just said, F it, I'm not going to Dunkin' anymore. I'm tired of getting screwed over. I'll go to Speedway and get a Kona roast where I can fill it all the way to the top and for the same price at the end of the day. And then when you lump in, I just also wasn't a fan of like their lattes and stuff. A lot of times, I like going to Starbucks, and people say, "Oh no, you go to Starbucks, it's so bitter," and it's like, but I don't get just black coffee. At Starbucks, I get a mocha or I get a latte. And it's like, I don't think a lot of people realize that most people aren't going to Starbucks just to get a brew. They get lattes and drinks and cappuccinos and frappuccinos and all that junk. I didn't like Dunkin's lattes. It felt like it was pure sugar. And maybe that's your audience and they like those really sugary drinks. I felt McDonald's, the McCafe thing, kind of did something similar where they were so sugary, you almost couldn't taste the coffee. So I didn't like their lattes. And then whatever you did get always felt like you were coming up short. I just completely stopped going to Dunkin' Donuts. There was other people I remember talking to at the time when they were here that also felt that they were just getting shorted. Things were smaller. Prices were the same. And I think that just sets in. It's like the consumer's not stupid. I don't know if that's a broader issue, or maybe I was just paying attention. Maybe I was like the unluckiest person in the world, and maybe it's just me that everything kept coming up short. But I think over time, that was like systemic at Dunkin' Donuts, and I think that was probably part of the fall in Michigan. Now you bring in Tim Hortons, who I feel's got better food. I still don't like their lattes either, but their brew coffee's on point. Their donuts are significantly better. They got a handful of items. Their service and operations are very smooth. And I also don't feel like I get shorted anything when I go there. Like the chocolate dipped donuts always have a lot of chocolate on them. The coffee's filled up to the top. I just don't, you get the iced cappuccino. It's filled all the way to the top. It's like it's things that you're expecting when you're paying money for something. So I went to a Dunkin' Donuts recently. There's a drive-thru I saw that I just completely forgot about, and I went through there. They're super slow, but it's nothing to do with Dunkin'. That's everywhere right now, so I'm not even holding them accountable for that one. Everyone's slow because everyone's understaffed, but the bacon was good. If you ever get the little pack of bacon, the bacon was really good. But I bit into the donut, and it just tasted like old grease. And I took one. I love donuts. Like if you know me, I love donuts, especially when I'm in Chicago. The stands and like fire cakes. I like some donuts, man. But I was like, oh, Dunkin' Donuts got to have a something similar to Tim Hortons now, right? Wrong. It it just tasted like pure old grease. I took one bite out of it, and I didn't eat any more of it, and it was that bad. I'm like, well, you combine this with prior service experiences, and then not enjoying this food right now. Um, I just don't know if they end up making it, and I see why they had to close 450 stores. There's a lot of competition in the market. I still think there's a tremendous amount of room for, if you see how backed up Starbucks is. Um, I still think there's a tremendous amount of room in the breakfast market if you can deliver good lattes and like good bagels and donuts and pastries and stuff. There's a tremendous amount of market there, but I can't eat a donut like that. I make donuts at home that were better than that, and I'm frying them in a little cast iron pot. It's like it was so bad. For me to not finish a donut, it's bad. Trust me. If you follow me on Instagram, you know I'm a foodie. You see all the stuff I post. Um, for me to take one bite out of a donut is ridiculous. Man, it's like I don't know how they get their act together at this point. Um, Maybe they got new owner operators in Michigan that I don't know, where they could take care of the what I felt was an issue with coming up short on the products. I don't know if this was just a local issue with the donut that tasted like really old grease, but if not, they got some work to do there for a place that, well, it's Dunkin' brands now, but I mean, for a place that's Dunkin' Donuts, you've got to have the donut on point. It's sad thing is, the best thing I had coming out of Dunkin' Donuts was a bag of bacon. So, I just don't know. I just feel like Tim Hortons is going to keep putting pressure on. I think Panera can put pressure on because they got the bakery and the pastries. They're putting more and more drive-throughs up. The one by my house, they just put a new one up right in front of the old one, but the new one's got a drive-through. You got Starbucks, obviously. There's more and more pressure coming. I don't know there's going to be much room in the market for a place that's got mediocre lattes, in my opinion, at best, and donuts that taste like grease, and at least from my experience, a brand that I'm not that excited about because I felt like I was always getting ripped off. So I don't know. Is this a name of the past? What do you think? Are they going to stick around? Are they going to make it? Drop a comment. Let me know. Let me know where you're from. Are they still thriving where you're at? Because they're not that thriving around here anymore. It's all Tim Hortons. I know the East Coast seems like it's pretty big Dunkin', but I don't know. We'll see. Let me know your experiences. Maybe mine are just a one-off. Maybe I'm the most unluckiest person in the world when I go to Dunkin' Donuts. But my guess is if they have to close 450 stores, that it's probably not just me. Anyways, that's all I got on this one. I'm going to catch you on the next one.